I've been warning you about those warm, dry, windy conditions all week. And Xcel Energy says possible power shutoffs could be coming in the zones that you see right there on your screen. According to the utility, they're trying to reduce the risk that a sparking power line could start a fire.
All right, Katie, in the mix here, when are we going to see those real fire dangers today?
In the next few hours.
Okay.
So it's not here just yet, but the winds will be the strongest later on into the foothills mid-morning and then this afternoon here across the plains. So timing wise, it's coming. It's relatively calm this morning and a beautiful sunrise, as you can see behind us. Partly to mostly cloudy skies and very mild temperatures. Warm once again this afternoon. We hit the 80s yesterday, feeling a little more like summertime. That is 20 degrees above average for this time of the year. And we do usually see highs in the low 60s. And that is what you're stepping out the door to right now this morning in and around downtown Denver. Now, not in effect just yet, but starting at 10 a.m. So 4 hours from now, we have the National Weather Service issuing a red flag warning. All of eastern Colorado, Denver, west of the foothills, down to the border. Wind gusts around 45, even 60 miles per hour in some of those wind-prone spots. For the metro area, around 30 to 35 mile per hour wind gusts possible. Now, this morning, it's relatively calm. You can see up near Berthoud Pass and Loveland Pass, though, around 25 to 35 mile per hour wind gusts. Again, the system not here just yet, relatively quiet, but we have issued a weather impact alert for this afternoon and tonight just to get you prepared. It's one of those days that if a fire were to spark, it does have the potential to spread with those high winds, low relative humidity, warm, dry conditions. Highs will be in the 80s once again this afternoon. So that is ahead of some changes. Winds pick up, cooler air, and potential for wetter weather. As you can see from our wind gust forecast, places like Nederland, Idaho Springs, Genesee, Golden, just be prepared for high winds for this afternoon and tonight. So with that, red flag warning set to take effect at 10 a.m. Firefighters all across Colorado, they are preparing for the danger. Our Shalima Maharaj joins us now with more on that. Shalima, good morning.
Good morning, Katie. I mean, all of those conditions that you listed there, it is really the perfect storm for these elevated fire risk conditions that we are going to be seeing later on today. But the fire crews across much of the state, they are doing what they can to prepare, and that includes making sure that the public is informed about the level of risk and also ensuring that they have enough people to respond to any potential incidents. And we know that there definitely have been this past season. Now, the reality for a lot of departments is that they simply don't have enough resources in order to respond to major events, and that's where mutual aid agreements between different jurisdictions come in. We have seen that type of response several times so far throughout the season. Just yesterday, Grand County firefighters said an agricultural burn got out of control when the winds really picked up. Now, this fire grew to about 3 acres, but officials say it had the potential to be much larger, 10 to 20 acres even.
The good thing is this county is actually really good about, heeding to when there's red flag warnings, and everybody up here is very gun shy after the 2020 season with the Williams Fork fire and the East Troublesome fire at the same time. Since that happened in 2020, now it's always in the forefront of the mind that it could happen at any time up here.
Now, that was Tom Baumgarten. He is the fire chief for Hot Sulphur Springs. And Xcel Energy, meanwhile, they say that it is planning a public safety power shutoff for a number of communities, in some cases starting around noon. Thousands of customers expected to be impacted, and that includes, I want to make sure we get this right for you, Alamosa, Conejos, Costilla, and Rio Grande counties. You can also look up your address on Xcel's website to determine whether or not you are going to be directly affected by this planned power shutoff. Reporting live in Denver, Shalima Maharaj, 9 News.
Shalima, thank you so much for your reporting. Happy Wednesday, everyone. 6:03 is your time, and we are taking a live look right now from I-25 at 23rd Avenue. So right here in Power Field, you can see that traffic volume has picked up heading southbound this morning. So if you're heading down to maybe Spear or 6th Avenue, Alameda, Santa Fe, this is what you can expect for that morning drive. Still, traffic still looks pretty nice, though. So I do want to switch things over to our main maps. No issues to report when it comes to crashes or overnight construction. 225 heading southbound into I-25. You still have the green lights, only about 10 minutes this morning. And then northbound and southbound I-25, so all the way down in Castle Rock, heading up to 225, a 15-minute drive.
Brianna, thank you. A man is in custody after hitting and killing a bicyclist in Larimer County more than 4 years ago. The Larimer County Sheriff's Office arrested 30-year-old Nicholas Sierra. He is accused of hitting this man right here, 29-year-old Luis Darnell Loma on North Shield Street, just north of Fort Collins. This happened in October of 2021. Deputies say they finally identified a suspect this past December and made the arrest on Saturday. Sierra now faces felony charges, including failure to aid after an accident involving death. He was issued a $5,000 cash-only bond.
Denver's Department of Public Safety says the emergency alert that mistakenly went out to the entire city this past weekend was the result of user error. The all-clear alert was sent out last Saturday after an armed robbery near Zuni in Florida. It was meant for about a block of homes, but it wound up going to everyone within the city's boundaries. A similar emergency alert misfire happened back in January. After this latest situation, the city's Department of Public Safety says it's reviewing internal safeguards and increasing the training on the process of sending out those alerts.
A new Denver law banning masks for law enforcement is already causing some confusion. Photos posted online showed masked officers during a police operation in 5 Points, leading some people to wonder if they were immigration agents. Denver police say the officers were actually undercover narcotics detectives, which is allowed under an exemption in the city's new ordinance. Denver Police Chief Ron Thomas says he understands why the situation caused some confusion.
And I think that they do understand the reason why we don't want to be confused with ICE agents and the community fear that I think takes place when ICE agents are not wearing are wearing masks, but also not wearing things that identify them as police officers.
The ordinance still allows masks during undercover operations, SWAT missions, and certain safety situations.
Body cam video shows a traffic stop in Arapahoe County that quickly turned into a foot chase. We're going to show you more of that right here. It started with a sheriff's deputy pulling over a car for expired plates. During that stop, the deputy says they also saw an open marijuana container in plain view. So they detained 4 people. But while one of those people was being questioned, he took off running. There he goes right there. A deputy chased him down, catching him near a store. Investigators later identified that man as 33-year-old Anthony Herrera, a wanted fugitive with a serious criminal history.
There is a new program in Aurora allowing people to apply for safety changes to their streets. It's called the Neighborhood Traffic Calming Program, and it lets residents request improvements designed to slow down drivers. Options can include roundabouts, speed cushions, flashing speed limit signs, and pedestrian crosswalks.
The idea is to get a little bit of improvement in safety and to prevent any conflicts with pedestrians or bicyclists.
Later this week, a council committee will meet to consider any changes.
The gunman who opened fire on tourists at an archaeological site in Mexico was also carrying materials that were apparently related to the 1990 shooting, or 1999 shooting that is, at Columbine High School. Authorities made that connection one day after the attack at the pyramids near Mexico City that killed a Canadian woman and left at least 13 other people hurt. 6 of those people were Americans, including a 6-year-old boy. Although officials didn't mention Columbine by name, they did refer to several books and handwritten notes that belonged to the gunman and referenced attacks in the U.S. in April of 1999. This past Monday marked 27 years since that mass shooting here in Colorado. A state official who spoke to the Associated Press says among the gunman's belongings was a photo modified by artificial intelligence that showed him sitting right alongside those Columbine attackers.
He brought out a speaker and he put a song on it. It was really hard to tell exactly what it was, but I remember hearing a reference to Columbine.
Police say that gunman did act alone and wound up shooting and killing himself. Security officials say they found a gun, a knife, and ammo at the scene.
And at 6:08, we're seeing mostly cloudy skies this morning. Temperatures very mild, stepping out the door by 10 o'clock, already at 72 degrees in Denver. Sun will be shining this afternoon. Temperatures warm once again, but it will be windy. Fire danger, a big concern over a lot of Colorado for today. Low relative humidity, 80s across the plains, and also unseasonably mild in the mountains. I'll break down the wind gust forecast and our next best chance for seeing some much needed moisture. It's looking like it'll be tomorrow in the high country. Details when we come back.